The power of forgiveness. Jesus was nailed on the cross, his life slipping away, whilst his torturers were exalted. Then he said, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." Luke 23:34. Forgiveness isn't weakness. It's one of the greatest powers you can ever exercise. In a world where revenge is glorified and grudges are worn like badges, forgiveness is a revolutionary act. And it's at the heart of what Jesus came to do. When Jesus hung on the cross, bleeding, beaten, mocked, he didn't curse his enemies or call down angels for revenge. He said, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." Think about that. The Son of God, in his most painful moment, chose to forgive. This sermon is for anyone who's ever been wronged, anyone who carries anger, shame, regret, or hate. It's also for anyone who needs to forgive themselves, because true freedom begins with forgiveness. Forgiveness is strength, not surrender. The world says, don't let them get away with it. Do the same and even more. Take it in your own hands to bring revenge. Make them pay. But Jesus says, forgive them. That doesn't mean what they did was okay. It means you're not letting it control you anymore. You can report it. You can complain about it. So those who have to deal with order can do their job well. But you don't have to let it haunt you and make you bitter and willing to respond in kind. Holding doesn't help, but does just that. Holds you back. Unforgiveness is like having a rock chained to your feet and hoping the other person gets slowed down. Bitterness weighs you down. It keeps you chained to the past. But when you forgive, you break free. You choose peace over the painful burden unforgiveness is. You may have every reason to be angry. People lied about you, betrayed you, hurt you, left you. But what if you could walk out of that pain, not by waiting for them to say sorry, but by choosing to forgive and build your life on a new foundation anyway? Don't wait for them to do it first. 2. Jesus forgave first. He forgave before anyone repented. He forgave while they were still hurting him. That's the standard he set. He didn't wait for the soldiers to apologize. He didn't demand proof that they understood what they'd done. He simply said, "Father, forgive them." Why? Because forgiveness isn't based on the other person. It's based on God's mercy and your freedom. When you forgive, you act like Jesus. You rise above what they did. You live on a higher level. 3. Forgiveness heals the heart. Some people are walking around like zombies, alive but emotionally dead because they're carrying so much resentment. It could be toward a parent who walked out, a friend who betrayed them, or even themselves for mistakes they've made. Forgiveness is the key that unlocks your healing. When you forgive others, your heart begins to heal. When you forgive yourself, you start to breathe again. You don't have to stay stuck in shame. God didn't forgive Paul his bad decisions, and God still does. No one is too far gone to be forgiven. His grace is too powerful to not be able to reach you and restore you. 4. Forgiveness is the door to reconciliation. Reconciliation means restoring relationships. But reconciliation starts with forgiveness. You can't rebuild bridges if you're still holding a torch to burn them. Maybe you're in a place where some relationships are too broken to fix right now. Maybe they will never fix. So what? Build bridges to your future by forgiving. Do not let unforgiveness break them. If they cannot be reconciled with, if they are too dangerous to be close to, that's okay. Reconciliation takes 2 people fit for it. But forgiveness only takes 1, you. Forgiveness says, I release you from my vengeance and I release myself. I won't let this control me anymore. When Joseph was betrayed by his brothers and thrown into slavery, he didn't spend his life getting even. Years later, when he had power, he forgave them. And instead of revenge, he gave them food, shelter, and mercy. Genesis 50:20. That's the power of God at work in a healed heart. One person which for some conscientious people is very hard to forgive is forgiving yourself. But you are called to let go of the shame. Some of you may not struggle to forgive others as much as they struggle to forgive themselves. You've made mistakes, you've hurt people, you've messed up bad, and you think, God might forgive others but not me. I wasted so much time and so many opportunities. Here's the truth. Jesus died for every sin, even yours, and he rose to give you a new start. 1 John 1:9 says, "If we confess our sins, he is faithful and just to forgive us our sins and to cleanse us from all unrighteousness." If God says you're forgiven, you don't get to say otherwise. Forgive yourself, learn from it, grow from it, but don't live in the past. You're not who you were. You are who God is making you to be. It is true that forgiveness changes the world. Imagine a world where people actually practiced forgiveness, where kids forgave their parents, not excuse bad stuff, but extend forgiveness, where enemies laid down weapons, where broken hearts found healing. That's the kind of world Jesus came to create, not through governments, but through you. This is when you have reasons to dislike someone, but when they need help as people, you help them out. Not help evil if they do evil, but help the person with the hope they will change their ways. This can help change some people profoundly. When you forgive, you're not just helping yourself, you're setting a pattern for others. You become a peacemaker. And Jesus said, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called children of God." Matthew 5:9. Forgiveness is hard, but it's holy and healing, and it's worth it. Whether you're behind bars or in a boardroom, in a church pew or on a hospital bed, the power of forgiveness is available to you. You are like Jesus then when you forgive. So today, ask yourself, who do I need to forgive? Who do I need to release? What guilt do I need to let go of? Start where Jesus did. Pray, "Father, forgive them." And if he can forgive them, he can forgive you. And through him, you can forgive anyone.